Hey everybody, welcome. It's Monday night and it's time for D&D, and man, am I stoked because we haven't played in a couple of weeks. So, woo! The gang's all here except one of the gangs. So I guess the gang's not all here, but we're mostly here except for the fact that we're not all there. And so, welcome. Tonight is Mysteries in the Dalelands Mystara edition, because we're not technically in the Dalelands, but that's where our game is set, in Forgotten Realms. So, I'm Wily Hobbit. I'll be your host and dungeon master. Let's go around the table and meet our cast of brave, courageous, intrepid adventurers. Ronvin, Mara, tell us a little bit about your character.
Hi, Ranvin is, a baby artificer. She is in Protector Asimar, which she still doesn't really know. She still thinks Al is fucking with her. Let's be honest. He puts, the wings on her. She has not noticed yet that she gets a second eye when she transforms. Um, but she has had a very good time at the Grendel route because of all the cool gnome artificial stuff. So she's probably gonna miss that.
Awesome. Yeah, you did score
Always go back.
some cool mechanized things, clockworky sort of gadgetry and the like, in the Tower of
Yeah.
Spectacles in Violet Falls. That's pretty cool.
And
All right.
the armor is cool, and I still have to turn that funny head into, the hood for Al's owl. So that's gonna be interesting.
Yes. Very nice. All right. Calavera, what's going on?
Hey, I'm Paige. I'm playing Galavera tonight. She is a Fire Genasi Grave Domain cleric that we have recently found out might have a little more experience with the grave than everyone thought. Ooh.
Dun dun
Uh,
dun.
has been a lot of fun to be playing out this whole time very subtly. I was waiting for people to ask about it.
Things are being revealed, people.
Hey.
Backstory is
The little
coming to
nuggets
life.
here and there.
It's good fun indeed. All right, excellent. For Geely, what's going on?
Oh, just another fine day. Fragilia's pretty excited to be back in Deep Delver's Enclave. She is ready to get her adventures commemorated in ink and to finally meet our not long lost, I guess, just long hidden um, contact in our little tiger friend.
Tiger.
So,
Say hello
ready
to
to
my
see what everybody
little
does.
friend.
Have a drink, get a bath.
All right. How about?
If you don't know, I'm Fragili.
Oh yes, and you're Fragili. Yes, Fragili Jamkasi. Fragili. We'll go with that. All right.
Yes. Okay.
Gears. Tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Gears. Hi, folks. I'm Dave. I'm playing Gears. They are a Warforged fighter, having a great time in these new environments, and looking forward to getting rid of this dagger and giving it to the onion guy.
Nice. Last but certainly not least, Rue Shahar.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Andrew, playing Rushahar, who is the Changeling Rogue.
Nice, and it appears you've been granted an advantage by
Yes, indeed. I was just writing that down.
Fragili. Yeah, nice. Very cool. Nice way to start things off. The party does have a number of plus twos they can add to any D20 roll aside from a death save. You got 21 of those, given by people subbing and all that sort of thing. And actually, Mike, Buckethead Clunk, Fragili, thank you for the sub. Very much. Your support is quite very much appreciated, and that'll give the party another plus two. So don't forget you have those where you're maybe marginally close on a d20 roll. You can add a plus two. Missing tonight is
Sweet.
Algernon Altano, the sage, the divination mage from the land of Chult. And so our party finds themselves deep within Black Claw Mountain still. They've come here to rid themselves of an artifact that found its way to Faerun and was causing much consternation, chaos, and upheaval in the town of Dagger Falls, where the party is located, presently situated. And so they've had some adventures here. They've made some acquaintances, some friends, perhaps even allies in Deep Delver's Enclave. They've uncovered some interesting facts, nuggets, some lore that remains yet unexplored. But the primary reason they came here was to find they were recommended to a fellow by the name of Ion Aver. And it was said that Ion Aver is somewhat a mystical merchant of sorts of the Rakshasa persuasion. And they've been looking for his onion-domed stand in the ever-shady bazaar. And much to their consternation over the past, what has it been, like a week or more that you've been here, with a significant road trip thrown in there. They've been unable to find the stand until last session, when they wrapped things up after debriefing Balon the Beardless, sort of the founding father of Deep Delver's Enclave, an old dwarf. They were kind of debriefing him on their journey to Violet Falls, and they went in search of the onion-domed Ion's Curios, and in doing so, they've made some inquiries at some of the various merchants in the bazaar, not the least of which, I think Gears is seeking a suit of adamantium armor. Ronvin stopped in at the apothecary to see about some salve that might be helpful in granting its wearer dark vision. So she's waiting to see if that can be made. She was kind of given a pretty firm thumbs up from the dark elf purveyor of such things at the apothecary, Ardulvin, who said, "Come back in a day or two, I should have what you need." And maybe most interestingly, Fragile stuck her head into an ink house, if you will, a tattoo parlor. And in there, she met a fellow by the name of Raoul Cheeky Lightning. He's a tabaxi tattoo artist of some reputation in Deep Delver's Enclave and beyond. And Fragile managed to negotiate a deal whereby Raoul would commemorate one of her recent encounters in the tunnels of Blackclaw Mountain, whereby she slew a nasty mind flayer with one blow of her sword. And so she's made a deal with Raoul to commemorate that moment in ink, immortalizing just the pure emotion and joy of the moment forever, in honor and in homage to her patron, the Raven Queen. And so it is there that we find our party stumbling about after a really long day of travel through the tunnels, an encounter with a drow merchant caravan and some Quaggoths. And they stand rather awestruck in front of what appears to be a very, very tall, like some 30 plus feet, 3 stories plus, easily the tallest freestanding structure in Deep Delver's Enclave, which is strange for the fact that they've been scouring the place for this very distinctly designed place with a very bright, gleaming, golden onion-shaped dome atop its stucco smooth, white, rounded tower walls. And yet here they are, finally, standing in front of 3 steps that ascend to a very beautiful, beautifully carved, ornate wooden door. It's a rather dark wood, very contrasting against the absolute pure white of the smooth surface of the tower. The door is bound in iron, but the iron appears to have been painted maybe the same white as the tower itself, the hinges, the hasps, the handle of the door, all in that pounded iron that's been whitewashed or painted, or by some means it's been made white. The steps are wide. The door is probably 6 feet across. It's arched at the top. Looks like it fits perfectly in its aperture in the front of the tower. What's interesting about this tower is you all stand in front of it, kind of just takes your breath away. It's perfection. The golden onion dome glistens in this strange, dark, dim lighting of this vast, vast cavern far beneath Black Claw Mountain. And as you all stand there, the hustle and bustle of the bazaar almost leaves your consciousness, as you're just drawn to this absolutely mesmerizing, perfect building. It looks like it might be 20 feet round, and again, a good 30 plus feet with a magnificent golden metallic onion dome.
So, what's the plan here?
We go in and we find Ian and we tell him that we have the dagger and we explain it and then we give it to him. I mean, that is what we're. This really is shaped like an onion.
Wondering how the color works. Goes up and she goes like, just like on the material, like.
Are you knocking on the tower itself or the door?
No, the tower itself, like.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
white,
it's-
but it seems metal, and she's like.
It's stone, but it's absolutely smooth. I mean, it's just absolutely smooth, not polished, right? The white is a matte white, and it is stark, and it's almost glowing against the dark, greenish purple colors of the lighting inside the vast cavern of, the inside of this mountain where the Enclave and the huge ruins below. I mean, it is so bright it almost glows. It strikes you like, how did we not see this place?
It's like almost looks like it's. I'm guessing if it's smooth but not polished, it looks like it's poured. Because there's no cracks, no nothing, right?
But it could also be magic. I feel like that's a pretty sound guess here.
No. We don't want to talk magic. I'm trying to see how you can make this without magic.
Out of character, to compare it to something real, it does look like absolutely worked cement, smooth, no texture.
Weird.
She's like, all right, I will have to ask him about this. All right. So, are we actually going to go in there and hand over this dagger, or are we just going to
Yes.
talk to him first before we talk about the dagger? I mean, do we trust him?
No, we do not trust him.
Well, then let's
But
not mention the dagger straight away.
But this is actually literally what we were told to come here and do by someone who found out a lot more about the magical, dangerous thing that we definitely should not be continuously handling.
Yeah, I'm not saying we're not doing it. I'm just saying let's be careful about it.
Exactly.
But why?
Because this thing is dangerous. And I, for one, would feel really bad if we give it to the wrong person.
She's got a point.
How it's
We don't want the same thing to happen here that was happening back in.
well, we were told that it wouldn't happen here if we give it back because this is the person it's supposed to be with. I feel like everyone is making this a lot more complicated than it needs to be.
I mean, it is Dungeons and Dragons, and you are players, so of course you're going to complicate things.
Absolutely. and it's like, Ronvin is like, well, you know what? In the beginning of our journey, I probably would have said the same thing, but now I am not so sure. This place is nothing like I imagined, and a whole bunch of things are not what they're supposed to be. So let's just be careful. Just for my peace of mind, please.
Fragilia's like, we should have just thrown it in the deepest, darkest place we could have found down there.
Well, what if a mind flayer would find it? Great. You know everything evil wants to be found.
We'll kill that one too.
You know,
We're like
If you
experts at
threw it
that now.
somewhere, then you wouldn't know if a mind flayer had found it. Would you?
not until the world ends, no.
So, Scott, just for clarity, where is the dagger right now? I believe
I think-
Gears had it.
I think Gears going to, yeah.
I think Gears had it, yeah.
And Gears put it in a box or something.
It
No,
does.
it was in a box.
Yeah, it's in
In
a
a
case. Yeah.
And is the box visible?
No,
Okay.
it's put away.
Okay.
It will take time to get to.
That's fine. All right. Well, let's at least go see what he has to say.
Thank you for the advantage, Ranger Harley.
Hey,
Much appreciated. Much appreciated.
Hey, who's throwing around all these quatloos?
Okay, so you're going to enter Ion's Curios,
Yeah.
or at
Yeah.
least this place. I'm assuming that's what it must be, right? I mean, it has to be
As far as
Ion's
we know.
Curios, right? Yeah.
So, as a curiosity as well, before we go in, out of character, are we going to talk about round tea days or not? What's our context for this?
Oh, I don't know if we discussed that or not. I think we might just be walking in. We might be doing it live.
Well, maybe we can just try to sell him the dagger.
I kind of like your.
All right.
thought
I
there.
go inside. I'm not part of this conversation.
Gears knocks on the door because I'm sure it's closed and locked.
So, Calavera, did you enter, or are you going to wait for Gears to knock?
And Calavera's going in.
It's probably a thing where Calavera turned around and she went to knock because it's polite, but Gears has a larger reach than she does and manages to get there first.
Okay. Yeah, so you wrap your knuckles, Gears, on the door, and it is a thick, heavy hardwood door. Doosh, doosh, doosh. And then you wait. And then you wait. And I'm not sure how long you'd like to wait, but nothing occurs after you knock on the door.
All right. Well, they'll try opening the door then.
Very well. You open the door. It opens inward. It opens silently. You maybe were anticipating it being sort of heavy because it seems to be quite the door. And it opens inward. And what you see inside is a rather large circular space. The ceiling is sort of vaulted and arched. Looks to be like stamped tin tiles, like you've seen a stamped tin ceiling. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
It's arched ornately. It has seams that meet in the center. And the ceiling, what's maybe disarming about the ceiling is it looks like it's got to be at least 40 feet high. The room itself it's probably a good 80 feet from the front door to and it's circular all the way around, as you'd expect from a circular tower, except it's probably a good 80 feet across. The floor is very dark red and earth tone, dark rust, polished tiles, rather large tiles, very, very, very minimal seams. They're almost touching polished.
You said 80 feet across?
80 feet across.
Did it look even close to that big from the outside?
No. By your estimate, maybe 20 feet around, 20 feet across. There are all about the place, numerous of various heights and widths, millwork, dark wood shelves. Same type of wood that looks to be, that the door looks to be made of. And upon these various shelves, and they're arranged almost library style, some are quite tall, maybe 20, 25 feet. And they're not all over the center. The center seems to be sort of an open promenade with some big tables, some chairs, all made of this beautiful dark wood. And upon all the shelves that are kind of, to the side, like they're little aisleways, there are numerous books, tomes, bins. You see maybe the pommels of swords or the tips of bows peeking out here and there. Just lots of items, not overstuffed, not hoarder style. Looks like there might be some order to this. The place is immaculate. It is lit by these hanging sort of braziers, excuse me, not hanging braziers, hanging braziers with they're this, looks like maybe the same metal as the onion dome, the gold glimmering, and there is what appears to be a very, very bright light emanating in the center of the braziers, and they're above the highest shelves and all the way around that give this space a very ethereal glow. The walls are the same, almost luminescent white, just glowing stark white. So anything with a darker tone, like the tables, the chairs, the shelves, the crimson, dark rust-colored tile floor really stand out against the stark walls. The ceiling, again, is this like stamped tin inside, all vaulted, as I mentioned, and across you see a spray of color. From 80 feet, it's hard to tell detail, but it looks like perhaps a large mural spreads across several feet across the back wall. And it looks like there's a dais. It's hard, again, to tell how large or wide it is, but a few steps up to an arched doorway, you can see a little bit of the frame of the door, but the door itself is included in the mural. There are two large somethings kind of laying about on the dais. And from out of one of the stacks of shelves steps an individual. Probably 5'6", 5'7", rather slender, wearing all clean linen, almost like a tunic, but more beachy, with little leather ties in the front. Very, very loose. Over the top of some linen breeches. No footwear. Appears to be a human male. And he steps out from between some of the shelves and looks in your direction curiously. "Oh, yes. Please close the door. Come in. Welcome. Welcome." And he begins to approach.
Hey, Wiley.
Yes.
From the moment I see the Rakshasa, Rue is just staring at him, watching his body language, trying to get the measure of him so that he can try to tell whether or not he is going to lie to us.
Okay.
Have we actually met the
No,
Rakshasa yet?
As far as we've seen, we've just seen some dude not wearing shoes. This is just some guy.
Yeah, this is, as he approaches, he's human male, probably late teens.
Sorry.
Late teens, maybe early 20s, hard to tell, but as he gets closer, very short cropped dark hair, piercing blue eyes. I mean, handsome is not the right word, because handsome implies age and maturity. And cute just isn't the right word, but very attractive. What's that?
Pretty.
Very pretty, attractive, comely young male. Again, 19, 20, 15, 21. So hard to tell. And he steps up, a very light step, very pleasant, comfortable. "Greetings, welcome, come in, come in. It's so nice to have guests. We've been expecting you." Yes, I'm Tristan. Welcome to Ion's Curios.
Hello, Chris. It's very nice to meet you.
Yes, nice to meet you. Who are you? What are your names?
Oh, my name is Calavera.
Nice to meet you, Calavera. Are you gonna roll like an insight or something, Rue? Do you still want to stick with that tactic? You seem suspicious in a way.
I find
No,
you
I don't think I'm suspicious of.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
True and not suspicious.
So, Rue,
No.
tell me this. Describe for me how you're regarding this young person as he approaches and engages with Calavera and extends you the warmest of casually friendly welcomes.
I think Rue is trying his best to look completely casual, while at the same time, very, very intensely looking at this person.
Okay, let's do this. Let's first roll performance or deception, whichever you prefer.
Oh, definitely deception.
Just to see how well you pull off the I'm not suspicious.
I will use an advantage on this. That's a 19.
All right. So, yeah, you're able to just look cool, calm, but you're giving this Tristan the once over. Fair?
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and roll insight.
Definitely using an advantage on this. 18.
Okay. So as you're listening to this young man introduce himself and welcome you to Ion's Curios and interact with Calavera and ask the party, what are your names? With your 18 insight, he seems calm. I mean, normal isn't the right word because this probably is the last thing you expected. Doesn't seem out of place. Doesn't seem any way, shape, or form nervy, agitated, suspicious, over observant. Totally looks like he belongs where he is and is not concerned that you've come. He is as he appears.
Okay. Rue will say, it's evening time now, right?
Yes, let's say probably mid-evening because you've had dinner with Balon. You've milled about the bazaar for a couple of hours, so I'd say probably about 8 p.m.
Yeah, so we'll just we'll look at him and say, "Oh, good evening, Tristan. I'm Rue Shahar."
Yes, welcome. Nice to meet you. And he steps forward and he offers his hand to you, Calavera.
I mean, yeah, absolutely take it.
Yeah, and he shakes your hand very politely. He's warm and smooth. His features are small, pleasant, very appealing.
Just a nice guy.
Yeah, just really, you feel very comfortable and welcome in his presence. And then he smiles and, with his absolutely piercing blue eyes, looks at Rue and smiles. Welcome, Rue Shahar, and offers you his hand.
Give him a warm handshake.
Yes. Very well. And the rest of you.
I think that Fragili's going to kind of stroll through and check out all the things on the shelves. She's going to pay close attention to what's going on, but she's noticed Drew's a little bit better at negotiating with people than she is versus maybe scaring them. So she's going to let Rue do what she does, and she's going to really, what he does, she's just going to check out everything she can on these shelves, kind of see if she can get a a feel for what exactly his
Okay.
curios entail.
So you're going to start moving around the space. Are you going to introduce
Yes.
yourself to Tristan or just kind of move off?
No,
Okay.
nope. I'm gonna quietly move off. I'm gonna not try and be obvious about it. Like,
Right.
I'm not gonna be like, screw you, I'm not talking to you. But
Sure. Just kind
I'm gonna
of.
casually start
Yeah.
wandering off.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, you do that. I'm going to bounce back to you in just a minute for Jilly. Ronvin and Gears,
Okay.
what are you up to? Is this young man, very slender, slight of build, very pleasant, just puts you at ease.
Ronvin's twitching.
Yeah.
Gear-
Ron is probably wants to do the same thing as Fragile and just look around, but she's kind of like, okay, this will be kind of rude. So it's like, I want to touch everything in here, but I should not.
So he kind of cocks his head and watches Ronvin and Fragilia, and I'm assuming you're probably starting to lose yourselves in your own direction, not really paying attention. And at Gears's silence and imposing, and by imposing, I'm thinking size difference between you, Gears, and this young lad. He kind of smiles at Gears and nods, and then he says, "Please avail yourselves the wonders of Ion's collection. I only ask that you please, if you need help with anything, let me know, and I'll retrieve it for you and set it out so you may have a look at it."
The Gears will tap themselves on the chest with a big finger and say, "Gears."
Tristan will offer his hand. "Well met, I'm Tristan."
And Gears will sort of look at Tristan, look at his hand, look back at Tristan, cock their head a bit, look back down at the hand, bend over, look at the hand, stand up, and say, "That is a fascinating appendage. Pleased to meet you."
Yes. He'll just calmly retract the hand, not batting an eyelash. "Yes, it's good to meet you as well. So what, my friends, what brings you to our stand?"
You say our stand. We heard that this
Yes.
belonged to one eye there.
Yes, it does. Yes. We've been looking forward to your arrival, but we still don't know what it is you're seeking.
We were actually seeking Ion, if that is possible, if we could talk with him.
Oh, yes, of course. I could certainly fetch him for you.
That would be very lovely. Thank you so very much.
Are the two of you finding everything you're looking for? Fragile Ronvin, what are y'all doing?
She's looking at everything. She's not paying any attention to whatever is going on behind her. She's just
There's a lot
fascinated.
of books, most of which look old. Many of them, if there is anything on the spine, it might be a runes, or perhaps a language you've never seen. Same goes for Gili. It is interesting to note, there are some large tables. There are a few mechanical clockwork mechanisms laying out, most of them under some sort of like a transparent, like a glass covering, implying that they might not be touched. There are, on some of the tables and even in some of the shelves, some cages where you see small mammals, none of which you recognize, very exotic looking, perhaps lizards, a couple, a few terrariums. Nothing looks familiar as far as its occupants. Some birds. How far into this big, I don't know what to call it, this big space
So
will you go?
Before they answer, as soon as Tristan goes to look and see what they're up to, Rue would try to draw his attention back to them and say, "Well, we have some things we'd like to discuss with Ian about some various artifacts that we've come across on our journey."
Oh.
I'm sure just kind of
He will be.
Distract him.
He would be most delighted to speak with you about artifacts, for sure, yes. Why don't you... Come with me. And he turns without waiting and kind of motions you and walks straight through toward the back wall, looking carefully for Ronvin and for Gilly as he walks, looking about to just lay eyes on them, as a curator or caretaker might do, someone who's responsible to see that things are not disrupted. That's the kind of the vibe you're getting as he walks, not waiting for you.
I follow along.
Yeah.
Nice.
As you get to the back end of, or the far side, I should say, of this, again, about 80 feet around, or I should say across diameter, you see a seating area with some low tables. Looks like an area where refreshments might be put together. Not far from it, there's a stone, looks like sort of like a burn ring, but it's this ornate, beautiful stacked stone, dry stacked, and there's a fire burning in it. Al is just like, bliss. I don't know how to describe bliss, but if you had to define it and have an image of it, if you saw Al, you'd be like, that's bliss.
That's bliss.
Yeah, he's just really hasn't said much.
As a question for piloting Al's character, Scott, would he have cast a detect magic before he went in?
I would say that wouldn't be a strange thing that he might do. I would think it would make sense if the party thought that was a good idea to cast detect magic and have it up.
I think he'd probably be curious enough to do it, but that's just me.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
I could see that. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, if you want to have that cast, that's a 10-minute concentration, correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
It's like 30 foot radius. 10 minutes. Okay. So as the young man is leading you deeper into the, I guess, gallery, for lack of a better, term, because this place is obviously very functional as a repository of stuff. It's very clear that it's not a shop. It's a collection. It's organized by some means. It's incredibly meticulously spotless. It's fine. It's just fine. But it's simple fine, not gaudy fine. Right? As you get deeper in, Al, you can see he's almost spellbound. He is seeing all schools of magic here and there, perhaps from a book, perhaps from a little item, just around on various shelves. It's only a 30-foot radius from his position, and it's not color spray of schools of magic everywhere, but he'll see, there must be something over there that's abjuration. There's probably something necromantic there. There's, so he's seeing that there are items giving off Dweemers, as far as that's concerned.
Is our compatriot here Tristan giving off any magic?
Is Tristan giving off any magic?
Yes.
No.
Quite honestly, I was expecting illusion.
Just a pleasant guy. He's just a dude.
And a door is always a door.
So I think as we, sorry, did you want to cut back to Virgil and Ronvin and see what they were doing? Riley?
Yeah, let's go back and RP that just a little bit. So for Julie and Ronvin, what are you two up to?
I'm gonna look for anything at all that I can find written in like celestial. It doesn't matter what it is, or Sylvan.
Okay. Yeah, you would definitely find. It seems like things are kind of organized a little bit, maybe by topic, genre, but there is quite a lot of tomes, maybe vellums, collections of items that appear to be all written in Sylvan. And they speak of nature and horticulture and herbalism and druidic magics and things of that nature. Exactly what you'd expect. Things of that nature. You see what I did there? Just what you'd probably suspect from Sylvan-ish, foresty, nature, natural. The celestial. There's only a few things. There are some tomes on a shelf, just a small collection of them together, and they seem to be books of heroic deeds, of angelic accords, books of names, of celestial heroes and champions, things of that nature. Maybe like kind of reference or lore.
So you said that they walked Rue back towards the back of the store.
Rue and Calavera and Gears and Al were all together, I presume, following Tristan to the further end of this large circular kind of gallery, library, collection space, where there was a nice seating area with very comfortable looking upholstered furniture. It's got some kind of cloth material stretched around it, looks to be padded, all around a large, and by large I mean maybe 4 feet across, stone fire ring that's probably 18 inches tall, stacked stone, and it's got this fire in it. At least that's what it appears to be as you approach. And Tristan gestures to the chairs. You probably, Fragile and Ronvin, you probably see them go by if you're down an aisleway between shelves, something like that. It is incredibly quiet here, other than any conversation that's taking place. So, party, did you follow along with Tristan?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Very well. So he takes you to the seating area, and there's a very thick, like a fur rug sort of splayed out. There's several of them, and it looks like the chairs are kind of tied together. Like 2 or 3 chairs might be on one rug and 2 or 3 chairs on a different rug. Is this all seating arrangement? There's small tables, presumably for books or beverages or your glasses. It's a seating area, conversation area. And beyond that, along one curved wall, it looks like there might be a service area for, beverages, refreshments. But what strikes you as you approach the rear end of this, or rear area of this circular gallery, is this incredibly beautiful, like breathtaking, like Rue, Calavera, Al, Gears, you all just kind of stop, and so does Tristan, and admire this beautiful mural, this beautiful, beautiful artwork on the wall. It depicts a scene of an opulent, large banquet or throne room or something. It's gilded, opulent, bejeweled. There's pillars, and what you see standing at the end of a table, a long table, festooned, decorated, replete with food and drink of all imaginable things. Chairs down both sides with all empty. And at the far end of the table is depicted this magnificent humanoid in this beautiful, luxurious-looking gold, sort of a long smoking jacket with satin blouse and pantaloons. Beautiful. And the head of this thing is this incredibly charming-looking tiger. And it has a very, very long pipe pure white. Looks to be carved of bone. Little smoke wafting out of the... It almost looks like the smoke is wafting out of this mural, and it's like life-size, maybe even a little larger. And off to the side, in full depth and dimension, is this doorway, arched doorway, that is at the back end of... Remember I told you there's kind of a large dais, like 3 steps up, that doorway is centered upon. It looks like it's in the side of the banquet room that the mural is depicting. And this mural goes maybe 30 feet side to side at the far end. And it is just exquisite. And you see what look to be a number of absolutely stunning, ethereal, incredibly beautiful elves, female, male, in these shimmery looking, like almost like gowns or robes. And they appear to be serving, serving material. A couple of them appear to be tending to this magnificent tiger man with his pipe. And this beautiful depiction. And Tristan stops and he kind of looks over one shoulder at you and looks over the other shoulder at the rest of you. It's magnificent, isn't it? Each time I come back here, I just have to stop, and it's almost as if I notice something more incredible each time I view it. It's really quite something, don't you think?
Incredibly, it's very detailed.
It feels as if it's an extension of the room almost, but it's very clearly a flat, painted.
Rue is going to walk the 30-ish feet or whatever to the end of the mural.
Okay.
It has Rakshasa depicted on it.
Yeah.
As he's walking, he says, "So this is I take it."
What catches your eye as you approach, because there's this dais that is sort of semicircular out from the wall. So it would almost be, if you're looking down at the dais, it would almost be eye-shaped, right? Because it's concave into the wall and convex away from the wall. Stark white against the tile floor. And there are these fur rugs and all of them. But the thing that catches your eye about the dais, and it's only like 3 very, 6-inch steps. And it's probably 20 feet across. So it takes up like 2/3 of the depth of the mural. 2 absolutely magnificent, huge, white tigers are perched upon the dais. They look like they're resting. You could see if you look at them long enough, they're clearly breathing. As you approach the dais, the eyelid of one lifts and then closes most of the way. You see a whisker kind of twitch on the other one, a tail, the other tiger's tail. As you see these 2 tigers laying on the dais in front of this magnificent mural. So you said you were approaching the mural. I just wanted to relay the rest of the description to you before you...
Do I have to... Yeah. Do I have to pass by the tigers to get to where Iron is depicted on the...
If you wish to... Yeah, they're kind of on either side of the big long table. So if you wish to go up, I'm presuming you want to maybe like get up there and maybe touch the mural. You'd walk right between the 2 large... Did I mention large white tigers? They're big. They are breathtaking. You have to look at them for a minute and decide, okay, are those actually tigers or are they in the mural? Nope, it moved. I saw an eyelid raise and some whiskers twitch and a tail flick. They're there. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I will walk by the kitty cats and go. They're pretty small, right?
They are absolutely full-sized tigers, full-grown adult, massive, beautiful white tigers.
I'm going to attempt to show no fear as I walk by them to where the Rakshasa is depicted on the mural.
Okay. Tristan watches you. If you move slowly, they won't give you any trouble.
This is Ion?
It's a mural. It's a depiction. I could fetch Ion if you wish to see him, and by all means, avail yourself a closer view. I assure you they won't eat you. You don't seem to pose a threat.
Yeah, Rude's not hesitated. He's just continued to walk.
Okay. So you step up the dais. You walk. You can smell. I don't know what tigers smell like, but you can smell them. You smell their breath. You almost feel the warmth, the humidity of their breathing. As you pass, one of them lifts a head and follows you like a cat would. I hope he doesn't think I'm going to move right now. Kind of look. Not really amused, but,
I've had that look from my cats before.
Yeah. Very, very clearly watching you.
I'm going to steadfastly ignore them.
Okay. Yeah, so you get up to the mural. There is the door that's right there, the arch door. If you would please, don't go through the doorway. But I can fetch Ion if you wish, but feel free to inspect the mural.
Certainly, we'd love to talk to have you traveled with him long?
Oh, I don't really travel in the per se. But we've been acquainted for some time, yes.
The shop was not here yesterday.
What's that?
The shop was not here. I shouldn't say yesterday. The last time we came through the bazaar.
Oh, well.
And now it is.
Yes. So, Ion's curios are really meant... We're really meant to be found. When we're meant to be found. Yeah, that's the right way of putting it.
Certainly one way to put it. Yes, we would love to talk to Ion.
Very well. I can certainly retrieve him. Rue, make a wisdom save for me, please.
This is not going to go well.
Hey. Let's see. I got an 18.
An 18, you say. So you're talking with Tristan, you're looking at the mural, and the mural is just, it's incredible. Up close, it's incredible. You know how sometimes when you get really close to a painting, it's not as cool as it was? It's almost like turning over some embroidery and you see the back and you're like, well, I wished I hadn't done that. And you get up here and it's because, you see the backside where everything's tied off and it's, it's just not as pretty as the front side. Or you get really, really, really close to artwork and it, like the depth is jank or it isn't, you see swirls where the paint, you get up there and it's just as stunning. The detail is incredible. You swear you could see the little furs in the Rakshasa's incredibly beautiful, dazzling fur stripes, the eyes, the glowing amber eyes, the whiff of, you almost want to see if you can the smoke away from its pipe. It's so real. And you feel in the back of your mind an intrusion, as if something is trying to understand or guess what your intention might be or what is most in your focus.
I try to resist.
Okay. Roll me intelligence.
17.
Okay. It And this isn't a painful or unpleasant intrusion. It's not welcome. It's a little disconcerting. You're like, you know that feeling like you're being watched almost?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's sort of disconcerting that way.
I have a sense of direction.
But you're not really. It's just there. It's just present. And you feel like even though you try to, mentally slam the door or pull the curtains quickly or lower the blinds, it's there already. And it's understanding what your thoughts are. And so I'd like you to share them with me, please. What are you thinking about? What is Rue thinking about right now? What is Rue's greatest concern?
Rue's greatest concern right now is it's definitely focused on the Rakshasa and being wary of any tricks that might be pulled on the party, and not wanting the dagger to fall into the wrong hands.
Very well. Yeah. And as
And a lot of distrust.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. As unobtrusively as it appeared, like all of a sudden you notice, like, ooh, there's like someone's in there with me. Almost like the whiff of smoke in the pipe. It's gone. Not painful, not proby, not edgy or pokey. It just was, there was something there. There was a presence there in your mind, and you felt yourself resist and were unable to do so fully. And then it was gone.
But I know that whatever this was, it got into my mind, right?
Yeah. Yep. You know that sense you get when you're tootling along, having a great day, the sun's shining, arms out the window, just a good day to be on the road. Got a little, Born to be Wild Steppenwolf playing, and all of a sudden you look up and there's blue lights in your mirror and everything in your body goes cold. Yeah, it's kind of that sensation. You're like, oh, man.
I spin around and immediately start walking back towards Tristan. And I say, Al, something just tried to read my mind. And I want to get right up in Tristan's face. What was that?
Oh, you've met Ion. It's not what it was, it's who it was. Perhaps now would be the time to fetch him.
That probably would be a good idea, I guess.
Okay.
I don't appreciate having my mind messed with.
He just wishes to know your intentions.
And he can ask my intentions.
I'm sure he will. And he smiles rather charmingly. Very pleasant. And he steps up the dais and opens the arched door and slips through it and closes it. And you are alone in the room with yourselves and the little critters that are in the cages and so forth. So what do you do while you wait for Ion?
I spin back to Al, and without looking at it, I point at the mural and say, is that thing magic?
He definitely sees some illusion or enchantment, maybe a little of both, coming from the mural. But he would explain to you that would be completely unrelated to what you just described. As a divination mage, he knows that something or someone had cast Detect Thoughts, was trying to read your mind and understand your motives and intentions.
Was it Tristan?
He said it was Ion.
I know what he said.
Mm-hmm.
I am unable to determine who cast the spell. It doesn't work quite that way. Detect magic does not. But what you've described, that is definitely someone is just trying to read your mind. It was not painful, other than being very disturbing. And quite inappropriate, of course.
Quite inappropriate, yes.
Yes. But the nature of things, if you ask someone before you try to understand them, you won't get an honest reading. But yes, I could see why that would be disturbing to you.
At least we would all be on the same page.
I think you're on the same page now. Or at least he's on your page. And so the door opens silently. And I don't know if y'all are facing it or whatever, but you just hear a little motion. Maybe it's the sound of fabric or of air coming through the door or something. There's just a little something like, oh, something's happening over there at the door. And through it steps a magnificent creature. Probably 6 feet and 8 inches tall. Very similar looking to the Tiger Man I described in the mural. Except this Tiger Man is, and I'm going to post him on the stream, wearing a cowl cape, does have a smaller, shorter pipe. I will put his image also in the Mysteries in the Dalelands fan chat in our Discord, to which I will post a link in 2 seconds, as I do like to share these things. But it's this turquoise billowing robe with a bright red blousey tunic. Thank you very much, Andrew. Green pantaloons, just very vibrant, almost gaudy colors. He's rings on all of his fingers. Wait a minute, that's creepy. His hands are facing backwards. That's troubling. His palms face where the backs of his hands are. They're somehow backwards. It's creepy. Glistening golden amber eyes, very, very deep, as he steps silently down the dais. These really neat looking, large, curl-toed boots, like those of a jester or an entertainer. And he holds out his arms as he stands in front of his two tiger companions. I am Ayana Verd. Welcome to my curios. It is good to have you here as my guests. Please pardon my intrusion. But when you welcome an unknown visitor into such a sanctum, a sacred space as this, well, you wish to be careful, so I apologize for intruding, but I wish to know your purpose. Please, let us have a seat. And he quickly walks over to the seating area and chooses probably the largest chair among the chairs, and sits.
I swivel in place where I'm standing and continue to stand in the exact same spot watching him. And once again, I am trying to read his body language with every fiber of my being, and now not really trying to hide it.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Galavera does go to take a seat as well. She'll go and sit down. It is a pleasure to meet you, of course.
Yes, I'm very happy you are here. It's a pleasure to meet you as well. What is your name?
It's Galavera.
Calavera, very nice.
Yes.
He looks at Rue and kind of smirks. You, I know. Rue Shahar. Yes, and I understand your trepidation. We are not well liked wherever we go, for good reason. This I understand. But I assure you, do not wish to harm anyone here. I am a businessman. What of you back in the shelves lurking about? Do you find anything you like?
Actually, Fragilia's on her way over already with the book. And she's like, just some stuff to pass the time with. And she's going to actually sit down Indian style on the ground, like right next to him, wherever she can lean back.
Okay.
And
Yeah, there's...
just pop open the...
Go ahead.
She's just going to pop open the book and start reading while him and Rue talk. But she's going to give Rue kind of a weird glance because she didn't hear the part about him being in his brain, and she just heard the tiger guy say, "I know you, Rue Shahar."
Right.
And so that's got Fragile interested. How does he know my friend?
Interesting. So there are there's a chair on either side of him. As I mentioned, the chairs are kind of grouped in these little seating, like 2s and 3s, and he's in the center, larger chair of a group of 3 chairs. There's the fur kind of rug on the floor, so you could easily make yourself very comfortable, leaned against one of the chairs beside him, and open your book. I hope you find my tome of interest. Yes. What of you? He looks at Gears. Warforged, yes. You are a long way. Well, all of you are a long way from home, but you in particular, yes.
Gears has moved up with Rue there and just looks at Aeon and nods.
Yes, I have not looked upon Warforged in a long time. Very interesting. A curiosity indeed. You see, I'm a very curious soul. And again, he looks at Rue's disapproving glance. Again, I do apologize for the intrusion, but I'm sure we could put that behind us.
Gears doesn't show much in the way of emotion, but their eyes, the rest of the party would notice they don't look relaxed. Normally they're just sort of like wide blue lights. These are pinpoints.
Okay.
Is anyone
inciting?
Actually, before anybody insights, when he talks about the curiosity, you can just hear from the other part of the shelf. There's Runvin. Curiosity killed the cat, right?
I see what you've done there. Very clever, little one. Come show yourself.
I'm kind of busy over here checking out your clockworks. I'll be around in a minute.
I see. Please mind you don't touch anything or pick anything up. Tristan could be around to help you if you need it.
All right, now I'm just looking, but thank you very much. Now, if you would be so kind not to make weird jokes anymore, I gotta focus.
You are the one who makes this strange humor about cats dying of curiosity. It's a bold sense of humor you have there. I like it. As Tristan mentioned, none of you have anything to fear. My role here in the Enclave is that of merchant, a dealer, broker. I know that among the good peoples of the worlds of the plains, we do not have a good name, and rightly so, but as I'm sure you've heard from Balan, Odra, and others, there's nothing to fear from me. I've harmed no one in my time here.
I assume you mean Rakshasa?
Yes.
I have no preconceptions about Rakshasa or prejudices. I judge you on actions. And so far, the only thing I know about you is that you've tried to read my mind without my permission.
Yes, well, if I'd have asked you, how far would I have gotten?
You would not have. And that
Exactly.
is certainly my prerogative.
Yes, it is. So, you come with an artifact. Do you wish to have it identified? Do you want to know what it is? Are you trading or dealing or selling? And he takes a long drag from his pipe.
I turn to Calavera and I prick an eyebrow.
When he emits the smoke,
Forget you were going to insight when I interrupted.
it forms in the shape of a dagger, and then kind of separates. And he smiles. I wish to see the weapon. You may place it on the table.
Calavera just gives Rue back a slightly exasperated look.
So, how did we do on our insight rolls for those of you who made them?
Wasn't sure yet if I should do it. I've definitely turned that in.
Yeah.
No.
I only needed one hand for the count, so
18.
4.
Calavera isn't trying very hard. She got a 6.
Okay. Rue, on your 18, this guy's an enigma. He seems earnestly sincere, creepy. I mean, you're not getting anything ulterior from him. It's kind of an enigma. He's, no matter how hard you bend your will, watch body language, listen for the slightest tone giveaway, you're not picking up any sense of deception. He seems to be what he appears to be. And you don't feel the least bit confident about that. Go ahead, Calavera.
Well, the dagger that we were charged with dragging towards you, we were told that it belongs here because where we come from, it was causing different trouble. Affecting people negatively.
I see. Did you bring this dagger with you? Which of you has the dagger? You may place it on the table if you don't wish to have me touch it. I understand. These things, if it is a relic of some sort or an artifact, these things must be handled very carefully.
I look at Gears.
We'd like to hear what you know of the dagger before we pull it out.
Of course. You have me at a bit of a loss. All I know is you have a dagger of some power, some concern, but I don't know what I can't.
And yet you know how far we are from home, each individually? You seem like you know a lot.
Well, the Warforged is not from Mystara. I'm told you come from Toril. Those are far places. It's not some mystical magical power. Balan told me, the old dwarf. Told me you'd be coming.
Scouting us.
Oh,
So
no,
scouting us.
he told me you'd be coming, that you are looking for me.
We've been scouting him.
Yes, you have.
Can we please put the dagger on the table?
So at this point, Gears will take the case out of his bag, their bag, I should say, and place it on the table. The problem is that there's nothing in it. And then Gears will spend several minutes patiently undoing part of their armor and then pull the dagger out from a secreted place within their body.
You put it inside of you? This cursed thing that we're like, oh, we shouldn't be touching it. We shouldn't be touching it because it's cursed and everything, and you put it inside of you?
Flips open the case, puts the dagger in the case.
Years.
Yes. It is of no harm to me.
This is a conversation for two. Do you know that? For certain?
Yes. I have not accepted the dagger. I have simply borne it. I have no interest in its magics.
He just sits back in the chair, one arm on each arm of the chair, and watches. No real reaction. He looks at Calavera as she queries Gears and looks at Gears as he responds. Watches the party, those who are present. As we're all focused on this conversation, you realize that Tristan has rejoined the group from somewhere, presumably the door in the mural. Yes, would any of you like anything to drink?
Ooh.
And Ion nods at him like, the usual kind of a thing. What can I get for you all? Wine? Yes?
I'm fine.
Do you prefer a sweet wine, a dry wine? Any particular? We have all kinds.
Let's go with sweet.
Very well.
I'm gonna just shoot for Julie a look of like a warning look. It's probably about as much as she'll get from it.
Okay. So, sweet wine for you, Miss Calavera. What would you like?
Do you have... Sorry. Do you have anything that is warm in temperature?
Oh, we have tea, coffee. We have some warm mead.
Not coffee. Up to your decision, please. Thank you.
Some tea?
That would be nice.
Herbal tea, perhaps? Or something with a little more caffeine?
Do you have anything calming?
Yes, of course.
I would love that. Thank you very much, Tristan.
Yes, of course. He smiles very sweetly. Looking at Gears. And you, sir?
Not consume beverages.
At this, Ion smiles and nods, as if, just recalling what he knows about Warforged from some lost time. And you, Rue, would you care for anything?
I'm fine.
Very well. He steps off to the service area. And Ion leans forward as if he's going to reach out to the case to open it. Would you mind if I lift the lid? He looks...
Oh, Gears did not actually close the case.
Oh,
He left
okay.
it open.
Very
Or
well.
they left it open for him.
Yes, this dagger is quite familiar to me. The dagger of discord. I can understand immediately then what your concerns are with this weapon. It is a most powerful artifact.
You mean the fact that it manipulates people's minds without their consent?
I
It
wouldn't...
brings chaos to the environments that it finds itself in.
It is a sentient weapon. If one bends its will and opens its spirit to the blade, yes, the blade will definitely have a strong impact on those to whom it is attuned. It can be thrown much, much further and yet still be accurate as a regular dagger, but much, much further. It cuts more deeply. It pierces more readily than a typical dagger. So as a weapon, it is a fine, fine blade. It is enchanted, of course. But yes, Rue, it is a sentient weapon. the challenge with such a weapon is once one is attuned to such a weapon, it cannot be separated from them without great arcane or divine intervention. It is very powerful this way. It magnifies any negative elements of the creature to which it is attuned. If the creature has anger, suspicion, jealousy, irritability, if it is boorish, judgmental, it magnifies these traits. And over time it becomes worse and worse, more and greater magnification of these traits. Very powerful. But that is not all. You see this blade, this dagger of discord that is, as it is known, it attracts negativity to it. So it can even work through its host, drawing people of negative, selfish ilk into its presence for whatever purpose. It attracts beings of another plane, a parallel plane. Perhaps you have heard of a Shadowfell.
All right, so for Julie, it pops up at that one. Oh, yes, do tell more.
Yes, it
Sorry, Wiley. Didn't Rowan Titus tell us that it was bringing people from the Fae?
that was his suspicion.
Okay.
Yes. It
Okay.
it attracts beings from the Shadowfell, which is a dark plane akin to the Feywild. Yes. The Unseelie congregate there and other more nasty things. And if there is an opening, what do they call it? A veil, a portal between the plane where the dagger is and the Shadowfell, the creatures could be drawn through it. It is a most powerful weapon.
And have you seen this particular dagger of discord before?
He smiles. Yes, I have. It used to be in my possession here in this wonderful gallery. What do you think of my collection?
And how did it come out of your possession?
Oh, all business, of course. My apologies. How did it come out of my possession? Why, I sold it, of course.
To whom?
To whom? Well, before we discuss that, I would like to learn a little more of why you are here with it. What discord did it sow on Toril in this Faerun? I'm curious.
It was about as much as you said. Sowing discord, someone had it, and it turned much nastier, and there were sources of a lot of negative energy. Although we were told that it was less creatures from Shadowfell, but more from the Feywilds, by the person who sent us.
Well, not everyone understands fully necessarily. These artifacts can be difficult to discern the finer elements of them, or the characteristics, or the powers.
I imagine that Al gets a very smug look on his face when he's just...
Yeah, Al like won't even
Those words.
make eye contact with him, right? Because all Al could get from it was like illusionary magic. I'm not surprised you're unable to fully discern the nature and the far-reaching effects of this weapon. It is disguised.
Virgilia is just staring him down. Just watch. With the Feywild, the Shadowfell. So this would have sucked creatures out of the Shadowfell.
It doesn't compel them. It doesn't force them or pull them out, like you say, suck them out. It attracts them. It draws them to it by its energy.
So it would have been fully possible for the Netherese to find a portal to return back to Toril using this.
Oh, I do not know of these Netherese of what you speak. I know nothing of your part of the plane. I've never been there.
I would like to insight to see if I think he's full of crap or not.
Please.
That's a 2.
Yeah. I mean, he seems on the up and up to you. Very confident, very calm, very much in command of the, environment, the space. You see, this is Dagger, and he looks over at Al. Don't be too hard on yourself, wizard. Nystel created very powerful magics, as I'm sure you know. And you see this look come across Al's face like, of course. Yes, the true properties of this artifact were disguised by a strong illusion.
Oh, man. The discord that this dagger sowed in Dagger Falls was grand theft of religious artifacts. There was also a blatant attack in the middle of the street. None terribly hurt, save perhaps, and looks at Al, ego.
I see. So no life was lost through the workings of this artifact. I see. Okay. Very well.
Only because of our intervention, it could have easily caused loss of life.
Of course it could, yes. So, 'tis good that you've come with this. These weapons could be more powerful depending on what plane they're on or what location, if they are near an opening into the Shadowfell, for instance. Were there other strange occurrences?
I'm just trying to remember, Scott. There were some, there were thefts and I think some violent acts that came out of it, if I recall.
The guy that got stabbed in the hand with a fork. There was
a halfling that lost his purse.
Yep, there was food that went bad. There was odd mischief. I think there was a child missing for a time.
Yeah.
a child.
Wasn't there also a fisticuffs among some of the
clergy?
Clergy?
There was a fight in the Morning Lord's temple there, Lathander's temple in Dagger Falls. All kind of just bizarre things happening with no real explanation.
So Gears will recount all of this in their usual monotone.
It's to me, this sounds like both the work of the powerful magic of the dagger and its influence on its bonded host, but also it sounds to me as if some Some fey creatures must have been attracted that were causing, and if nothing's been done, are probably still causing mischief. The extent of the mischief, of course, would be relative to the malice and the power of the creature causing it. That's what it sounds like, yes.
Out of character, oh dear lord, we've left Dagger Falls with no one to protect it, and a
There was
bunch
a
of
very
unseelie
powerful
fae.
wizard there.
Oh, Ron Titus went home.
No, he told us that he was going to take care of the fey creatures.
Yeah, he said he was going to take care of it.
Oh,
Why were we? We were like level 3. What do you want from us?
I just think it's funny, that's all.
So
Not our job. Okay. No, wait, we did make it our job.
they must have sent you here to remove the blade from Faerun, from Toril, to explain why you've come all this way, to return it to the place where it belongs.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, well, as I said, I sold this blade some time ago. But it was here, yes. It was in my possession for a number of years.
How long ago did you sell it? I'm just wondering how it managed to make its way over to our plane.
Right,
It is a
yes.
long way.
Yes.
Did you sell it to an elf by chance?
Did I sell it to an elf? He kind of cocks his head and looks at Fragile. Almost a little, looks like he's a little surprised when you ask that. Yes, as a matter of fact, a dark-skinned elf. Yes. Uvirjust, such, their names are so difficult, as you know. She told me of her name. She was known as the Hydra. She was an elf, very clearly. She's not a Hydra. She did not have multiple arms or legs or tentacles, but yet she referred to herself as the Hydra. And her name, Ulvirgist. Does anyone speak Undercommon?
Nope.
Okay. Yes, they purchased it some months ago.
Does this line up with the dagger being found in the Dagger Reforged?
The dagger was found left on the bar when it was redone a couple of years ago.
Right. That doesn't scan then.
Yeah, he just says some months ago.
Right.
How many months ago?
Oh.
We're going to get a weird answer, I'm sure.
How do you measure your months exactly? By sun and
10
moon?
days. Or three 10 days? Sun and moon is a single day.
Okay, so very well, yes. Many months ago, maybe 30 months of your 10 days, that would be many, yes, 30 or more months ago. It's been, you must, pardon, I travel widely. Well, not widely, but far. I travel far. And by far, I mean maybe even in terms of time. So, please, I beg your indulgence.
It is understandable. Time has been very confusing to understand.
But yes, many months ago.
In Dagger Falls, this dagger was found left on the table of a tavern named the Dagger Reforged.
Some local curious play on words, perhaps. There's no meaning to me.
The Hydra.
The name Lorivar means nothing to you, does it?
No, I've not heard that name before.
Are you familiar with Round Tedious, the sage of Deependale? He seemed to know you.
He smiles. Ah, so I am. He's from this Dagger Dale?
No, Deependale.
So nearby.
I believe so.
Yes. Yes, we are acquainted, yes. He has been here. Is it him who sent you?
Yes.
He said that the dagger belonged to you.
Yes, well, he would be... In the manner of speaking at one time, it did, yes, before I sold it.
Well, we've brought it back.
Have you? What of this Hydra? This Overjust?
Unknown. Was not seen in the area.
You don't know any of these drow elves?
No.
Well, interesting. And he kind of sits back and he closes the lid before he sits back. So you want to leave this dagger with me? Is that what you mean to do here?
That is our
What
mission.
will you do with it if we leave it?
Well, that is a good question. I presume you and this wizard friend of yours do not wish its return to your home?
Correct.
No, we do not wish it to be irresponsibly sold to people who would use it to do harm. Again.
Irresponsibly sold. I'm a merchant. I trade in antiquities and relics, and what people do with them, I do not know.
Well, maybe you should.
Maybe I don't want to or need to. It is not my problem.
Then maybe we should not leave the dagger with you.
And we'll do what with it?
Destroy it.
How?
Destroy it. Not likely.
What would be required to unforge the dagger?
Oh, it would probably be best if it were returned from whence it came, where its origin is.
Where is that?
To the best of my understanding, this dagger came from this mountain. It was forged a long time ago, in the time of the magocracy of the Black Star, as a matter of fact. Have you heard of it?
No.
No.
There's a group of 9 dark mages who came to Black Claw Mountain in the absence of the great red dragon. Some say they killed it, some say it was gone, and his absence afforded them the opportunity to take up residence deep within the mountain, which they did for one way or another. It is these 9 mages who built the city that surrounds us here. That the ruins, those are the ruins of their once great city.
Ruins. It's beautiful.
Shadow Reach is beautiful, It was once much more beautiful in the time of the Majocracy. They arrived here some 6 centuries ago. Great wizards with great power, here to research and learn and work their magic sealed away from prying eyes of the outside world. They made many such items as this dagger. I'm sure it comes from them.
While he's speaking, Rue is going to reach out to pick up the dagger.
Okay. The lid is closed.
Then I would just reach for the whole box.
Okay. Yeah, you may certainly do so.
What are you doing?
I'm going to pick up the box and walk out with it.
Wait, Ru, what are you? We literally have one job.
Behind the stairs, like, bro, where you going?
We literally have one job.
And Bronwyn will go after him, like, I have no clue what's going on here, but Bruce leaving, I'm coming.
He'll stand. So where do you go now, Rue Shahar, with this dagger you do not fully understand?
Not answering. Just continuing to walk.
And where are you walking?
Ouch.
Wait,
You may not be wrong. If we leave the dagger with Aeon here, it will simply get sold again.
As he stands there and looks at you, he gestures and speaks something in a language I'm not sure any of you understand.
Does anyone speak Infernal? For 500, Pat.
And vanishes.
I do not.
I don't.
That was tense.
Wait.
Is Tristan in the room?
Tristan's walking over and kind of stops. And he's like looking around. And he kind of sets the tray down and steps back and goes over to the service area and kind of, it just seems like he looks like he probably knows better.
Okay. I'm going to hand him the book and grab the glass of wine.
He vanished.
Oh, Tristan did?
Yeah.
Tristan vanished?
No.
maybe-
No, the Rakshasa vanished. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about handing the book to Ion.
Oh, no. He's gone. Fragile is absolutely loving this.
Perception checks for anyone as Rue is making his way back toward the exit, I presume.
Yeah.
That's a 19.
16.
Dirty 20.
Ooh,
7.
nice.
Okay, so Ronvin, you're kind of snooping around. Calavera, you look up and you see at the ceiling, Ion appears and very quickly flies across the room, above Rue, and alights in front of the doorway. Before you go, don't be so hasty. I make deals. It's just what I do. I'm a broker. I'm a merchant. I like to make money. And I am trustworthy to honor my word. It is all we have in this life, after all. So if we were to agree that this weapon might not be sold again would remain here. Would that be of interest to you and your people?
Why would I have any reason to believe that you would keep your word?
It is what I do. Ask anyone here.
By your own admission, what you do is blithely ignore the acts of people who take strange and powerful artifacts, and as long as they give you money.
How would you expect me to understand what happened with this weapon once it left my watchful eye? You make many assumptions, many unwise assumptions. You allow your emotion to run away with your rational mind. I'm a businessman. That's what I am. I like shiny things. I like valuable things. I care nothing for what happens at the other end of the material plane to people of no consequence to me as a result of a
Care nothing about
transaction
the-
I made. How would I know?
Exactly what you're saying.
How would I know what this dark elf intended with this weapon, or where they intended to do things with it?
I don't
All right,
know.
come on. You got to throw a little bullshit flag right there. It's a dark elf.
I'm sorry.
Traveler of many worlds.
What
There
does that
are-
have to do with anything?
There are dark elves all over this mountain. I do not know where this dark elf come from. She did not tell me, except to say that she's known as the Hydra. Many people are known as many things. I am known as many things. But if you wish to deposit this weapon back in my possession, you'd have my word. I would sign a contract. You'd have my word and my signature that I would not sell it again.
And what would happen to you if you don't do it?
I cannot break my word.
What if you break your word?
I don't. I don't know what to say to that. I don't break my word.
That's nice, but what will happen if you do break your word? Gonna implode? Are we gonna come and take all your shit? What's gonna happen?
He just looks at you strangely. Who is decision maker for your group? Spokesperson. Wisest person. I must negotiate on good faith.
Gears will just look at Calavera.
So Rue.
And Roman is just like, I don't like him. Can we
But
go
Rue-
now?
When Rue looks at Calavera, it's a pleading look.
He'll look at Calavera. I presume everybody kind of came over, so we're all kind of down at this end of the...
No.
Or is it just me and Rue down here?
Calavera would have come along, yeah.
Yeah, I was following Rue out the door, so like, let's go.
Okay.
I don't like
I
this
was.
dude.
With the
I
glass of
trust him.
wine.
With
He
the
was
glass
awesome.
wine, yeah.
Oh, this is awesome drama.
And he, his demeanor when he vanished, appeared at the ceiling, flew, and landed nowhere near Rue, nowhere threatening, just landed with apparently the intent to continue the conversation before you leave. You are free to go. I will not keep you here, but I will make you a committed deal. It's what they do.
Until you get a better offer.
No. No,
Says you.
my business is binding. So your alternative is to continue to carry around this dangerous weapon and not fulfill your purpose.
Quite sure we can find a way to break this.
But it might be to my benefit to purchase this back from you. If I have many places I can do business where this would never return to your plane.
And that's shady. Because you just said you won't sell it, but now you're saying you could go somewhere where it would never
No,
get back
I
here.
said I would not allow this weapon to return to your place.
No. not what you said.
You keep collections here, right?
I do.
You enjoy keeping things that are powerful. For yourself, would this not count as an item such as that? A sentient weapon?
I have no use for such things. I keep some things, I sell some things.
What would our side of the deal be? Just to give this weapon back to you? Theoretically.
Your side of the deal would be to go back to your wizard friend when you go back to Dagger Falls, presuming you do. Maybe you'd like to stay Mistar, I do not know. But you tell them that you deposited the weapon with Ayan of Vair. Show them our contract. I will pay you its worth in gold. Where I come from, my home, this is not my home. I do not live here. What is word? I relax here. There's no threat here. People in this enclave trust one another implicitly with their lives. This is a very dangerous place. It would not do to have a great evil, malice-intended creature living in the midst of this enclave. They would not last long.
Doesn't take a creature of great malice and evil to do great evil.
You mistake some things. I grew impatient with you because you assume my intention was to sow discord with this weapon, which
No.
it was
I
not.
assume you sold this weapon to someone who did intend that.
Which is
what you told.
which is not my problem. You are attaching the outcome that happened in your home to my action, which you cannot do because they are not connected. I buy and sell
Totally
things.
can.
I find things. I do business. You are attaching some moral obligation. I do not know what this person is doing with the weapon. I can only presume they're not up to any good, but how do I know where in all the plains what they planted? It's none of my business.
Oh, it
That's
is.
the problem.
Oh, it is.
No.
And that you don't see that is the problem.
Brew, give him the dagger.
No.
We cannot take this with us. We can't do this.
It's a
We
transaction.
can't give it to this one either. Don't
Well, what
trust
else
him.
will we do? What else can we do?
Throw it in a freaking volcano.
He looks at you and just laughs. He's like, what?
And anything, but give it to somebody who does not even see that what he does has consequences because he thinks he doesn't need to suffer them. He doesn't even have the same moral compass that we do.
We don't really have a good moral compass, do we?
Well, better than that, dude.
Is it?
This weapon will be going home with me. It will not be remaining in the mountain.
We do not have a better alternative for this.
Rue has turned and is just staring at Calavera.
We don't know how to destroy it. We don't know of anywhere safe that we can really bring it to. We cannot protect it. We can barely protect ourselves.
Let me help you with that. And he reaches in the pocket of, somewhere like a waist pocket, like maybe where a watch would be.
Rue is reaching for a sword. Not drawing it, but...
That's fine. He ignores you entirely. And then he looks at you and kind of chuckles. Oh, the wisdom here is overwhelming, he says sarcastically. And he flips this little, what looks to be kind of a coin at Calavera. Here, I give this to you as token of my goodwill. I posted an image in our Discord and it's on stream. And every last one of you recognizes this as a Zentarum badge.
Yep.
This item was given me as apparently a way to reach this Hydra, should I need to or want to, which I have neither need nor want, but perhaps this is meaningful to you. And it might do you some help back home. But again, I do not care for such trivial things because apparently my moral compass is on the fritz, or whatever you want to call it.
I
I don't think you have one.
I
I
think
look
you
at
should
Calavera
pay
and just
better
say,
attention, child.
"That is retarded."
No, he got this from someone who's. I would explain.
This was given to me by the Hydra, the Lady Drow to whom I sold the weapon. And her intention in giving this to me was that should you need to contact me or find me, this will guide you where you need to go.
Blocking the door, right? Like he's in the doorway.
He's just blocking the door, standing there. He's not threatening any physical harm. He just wanted to
But
continue the
there's no way
conversation.
to get past him easily.
You could try to walk around him, see what happens.
Not yet.
Well,
We to try to find out who this Hydra is then.
yeah. Well, but Runrin's leaving. He just called her a child, and he is absolutely the worst kitty cat she ever met. So she's like, she done. She's just gonna walk straight past him out.
Rue, I know you don't like this, but this is
He
the
will
best thing.
he will step aside and bow graciously.
Yeah, you're the meanest kitty I've ever met, and I still don't trust you.
Oh, you have so much to learn, but fare thee
No,
well.
thank you.
Walk
wish-
out.
I wish you
Rue,
well.
no, we can. No, this is a mistake.
So Ronvin's exiting. Rue is exiting. Is that correct?
Gears will move next to Calavera
With the
his-
dagger. Okay.
with their hand clenched and open it to show the similar badge that we found on the road back to Dagger Falls and compare the two.
It's the same one, yes.
I don't think you have that.
Actually, Gears does, I'm sure. Because I found it.
Sure, I have it. It's in my inventory.
I have a silver Zentarum flying snake badge in my inventory.
Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of a different one.
Yeah, because I think he picked up the one that was just like on. There wasn't there one just like on the ground somewhere.
There was,
Yeah.
and the tail or the head was pointing in a specific direction.
Yeah. Okay.
Bad about that.
I didn't. So I can carry that if you wish.
Sure. It
So Ronvin has
doesn't
left.
matter.
Rue has left. Ion is standing there smiling. The door is open. Are Gears and Calavera exiting as well for Gilly? What's happening? What's happening? Tell me.
Calavera just looks frustrated and furious. I'm sorry, they don't really listen to me. We don't really have a decision maker in the group, I think.
There is some disagreement. We do not know if we can trust you.
We
Yeah.
don't have anything better.
I cannot force you to believe what you wish to believe or not believe. I understand your trepidation.
It is.
But those who are ruled by emotion and irrationality find a hard path through life sometimes. And, I understand where your hearts are.
We do not wish to see the dagger return to Dagger Falls and perform its
And I pledge to you that
discordant magic.
that will not be the case. I have no interest in seeing this go back to Dagger Falls. What? I don't even know what this place is.
If we were to come to try to find you again, would we be able to?
I'm here. I'm around, yes. I know who you are and what your purpose is now. It's very clear, and I'm willing to make an arrangement that should please us all. You've been given apparently quite interesting information with this little trinket, but it means nothing to me. Again, I assumed it might be helpful, and by your reaction, I will say that my assumption was correct.
It is. Thank you.
I could have withheld it.
I understand. I know. Thank you. I'm sorry that we've
But
caused
no,
trouble here.
nothing to be sorry for. This is a very trivial matter for me.
Right.
Would your pact be to retain the dagger in perpetuity so that it causes no discord in other places?
My pact would be to see to it that it would not return to Faerun, Toril.
But if it left your possession, that would no longer be a guarantee.
He kind of considers your question. You would have nothing to worry about. It would not return to your world. I would be taking it home.
Home
Yes.
is
You do not know where I am from, do you?
no.
No.
No, we do
Afraid I
not.
don't know much about
I-
Rakshasas.
Well, I live in Avernus.
Gears will give a quick sort of
The
nervous shrug.
entry plane to the plains of hell. Is where I'm. That's where I'm from.
There's no real recognition here.
Yes.
Nothing is clicking.
No.
Virgil kind of chuckles. Seems like an appropriate place to take it.
A weapon that breeds chaos. What
Yeah,
of the
you know.
hells? Honestly, I know, but Gears knows shit about the hells, so it's like doesn't mean anything.
It is warm. It is very warm there in the summer, particularly.
Undoubtedly.
Where this blade
is
is
gonna-
going, it would not be possible for its return to your home. It would not be possible. It is not a matter of my desire or will or control. It is not possible. But I realize you may not fully grasp all of the details. And I don't say that to be demeaning. Just, they speak the truth.
Okay.
Quite correct. We do not know. All we know is the outcome.
And you know of my good will. I've told you all I know of the purchaser. It's possible I could have simply taken this from you if I wanted it badly enough. Could certainly
Yeah.
have.
Well,
I could certainly have created issues for you by trying.
There is no point.
No, this is not that important to me. So, you are free to go. You're free to come back again. You're free to patronize. If you have relics and artifacts from the deeps, from your place, I'm always purchasing, dealing, trading, and so forth.
I believe we have decided to keep most of our acquisitions.
Yes, it's interesting. A trip to Violet Falls. I'm sure that was profitable for you, or should be at some point.
Indeed. Gears will open the bag that's got the purple gems, glowing purple gems in it, carefully take one out and proffer it to Aeon.
He'll take it in his big clawed backwards paw. Really disturbing because it's facing upwards.
Dude, I've got three fingers on each hand. How disturbing is that?
I suppose that's true. Yes, this very pleasant bauble. Yes. Thank you.
For your trouble.
Oh, just no trouble, I assure you. I'm not the one with the problem here.
You are quite correct.
I'm the one who stands to benefit from your solution of the problem. And I'm willing to compensate you fairly. And guarantee. And if you know anything of the way things work on Avernus and the other planes, word is given, word is good. To the letter.
Yes, that may be the case. I am not an adjudicator that can determine the appropriate verbiage of protection to the letter of that law. Gears will bow slightly. Look at Calavera. I take my leave. We may return. I'll be back. And walks out the door.
I'm very sorry. They're not gonna listen to me.
Please do not apologize. There's nothing to be sorry for. Now you know what you're dealing with this item. You have been given the beautiful gift of free will. You are free to do with it what you wish. That is one of the fineries of life.
Of course, thank you. It's been very nice to meet you. I've been very curious, I'll admit.
That is the name of my stall. Ion's Curious. Curious. You see a play on words.
I hope we'll be back. I really do.
Oh, you're welcome anytime.
And then I think Gallagher is gonna go along as well.
Very well. Fragile, did you exit as well? Or are you still lingering?
I'm still lingering.
Okay.
I want another glass of wine.
Yeah.
And I'm going to smile at him and be like, well, let's see what you got. I got a couple of things I might be interested in.
Oh, very well. What things you wish to trade or sell? Or did you find something you have an interest in purchasing?
I'm more seeing if you have something I'm looking for.
Oh, well,
if
I do not have it, perhaps I can find it.
Fragili's going to pull out her little wooden box that she keeps. And she'll open it up, and he'll be able to see inside that there's a little cup. There's a nail in it. There's a talon in it. There's a piece of a mind flayer's tentacle inside of it, but it's pretty crammed in there. There's a gold ring. She says, I'm looking for something like this that maybe could hold more but be the same size. And looking at your marvelous establishment, it's clear you have mastered the ability to make bigger spaces and smaller spaces. And I'm either looking for something like this or...
Pleased that you noticed.
Something... Yes. Perhaps either this or something that might provide me more protection.
So a container to hold your trinkets, your special items.
Yes.
See,
that
yes.
I dedicate these memories to my mother.
Oh, I see. How lovely, your mother.
Yes.
Is your mother Forgive me, I'm not sure I understand entirely. You can see him looking, like mentally poring over the contents, the items you just described, the mind flare tentacles. He's just looks quite perplexed.
My mother is the Raven Queen. You might have heard of her.
Ah, yes, okay, it is all making sense. The emotion, the desire, the angst, the pain. Yes, the memories. Yes, it makes sense now. Yes.
Yes.
You are
And
a warlock then. She is your patroness. Yes.
oh, she's my patroness and she is my mother.
Ah, lovely arrangement. Yes. So a box for keepsakes for the Black Raven Queen.
Yes.
So dark she is. Beautiful.
Oh, she is the most lovely being in creation. And I bring her memories not just of darkness and despair, but of joy and
yes.
longing.
Intense memories, not just fleeting. The more vivid, detailed, more emotionally driven, the better, yes?
Yes.
Yes, that's right.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm
But
envious.
I need now that we have found adventure, I'm running out of room in my box.
Yes, wait here. Be patient 1 moment, please. Tristan, come. Please. I could use your help. Right away, sir. Yes. He comes shuffling in quietly, and they disappear down one of the aisleways between shelves and things. Just a couple of minutes goes by. You hear quiet, muffled discussion. You hear like bins sliding in and out, things kind of rustling about, moving. And he comes back to you and moves like, well, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say he moves like a cat, but it's quiet and it's very just smooth. Yes, I think this will do very nice. And he sets it on the table, and it's this wooden box. Simple, dark. It's like the same wood that the door, the tables, any of the wood that's in this space is made of. It's a very dark, tight-grained, think black walnut, but darker and deeper. You know how black walnut's kind of creamy? This is deeper. And in the lid is set, and it's just a simple box. You can't see hinges, anything. And set in the lid so that it's flush down into the wood has been this piece of absolute smooth, almost translucent obsidian that when you look into it, it almost appears as if you're looking into a universe. There's these little flecks of sparkle. I think this would be quite suitable for your needs and might evoke goodwill toward you and your patron. There's
that is gorgeous.
There's a memory box of sorts, yes. Yeah.
Yes. So, my friend, what will this set me back?
Well, that is a good question. And he opens it, and it appears like the inside of it has been paneled, if that's the right word, or inlaid with obsidian as well, so that it almost appears to be kind of dimensionless, bottomless. In here is just a simple pocket dimension where you may store things. It would hold easily 10 times its physical dimension. The box is probably 3 inches tall by 8 inches wide by 6 inches front to back. It's not a huge box. Could be easily stowed in a pack. You could easily, it would contain easily 10 times the volume of what you see there, of what it would measure. We could do, I would trade you this box for that dagger. I would trade you. But I'm afraid you'll have a hard time prying it from the wizened claws of your acquaintances. So in the absence of that, I would that dagger would fetch it's worth about 1,400 gold a dagger is. The box, not worth nearly so much, but I know how eager you are to be rid of the dagger, so I would take that. But in the absence of that as a possibility, I would sell you this for 600 gold.
So 600 gold.
Yes.
And would you take some of that in gems?
Oh, of course. So much easier to deal with and so beautiful. I would be delighted.
Okay.
What do you have? Show me your sparklies. He kind of cackles a little bit. This is the first you've seen him, maybe just the slightest little crack in the corner of his veneer, of his avarice, just starting to leak out a bit. Oh, what do you have? Show me.
Oh, well, I have, I gotta go look my gems up. Hold on.
Yes, of course. Consult your inventory.
Oh, I cannot consult my inventory if I am not in the correct spot. Here we go. Getting closer. There we go. I have for Julie. I have about 6 gems that would be in the neighborhood of, 3 gems in the neighborhood of 50 gold pieces each.
Okay.
And I have a 100 gold piece ruby. So that'd make 250, and then I could do the rest in gold.
I'll tell you what. I like you. You seem like
Oh, well,
a very deep personality. I will sell you this for 500. I think the obsidian is what makes this so valuable, the way it is polished. Because you think of, what is this bag with the extra dimensional? The bag of holding. It's not that
Yes.
expensive, not nearly 600 gold, but it lacks the depth, the obsidian, the artwork, this rare wood. So I would sell this to you for 500. Keep 100 of your gold.
Oh, well, that
Yes.
is most generous of you. How would you like to be called?
Ion is fine.
Just Ian?
Ion.
Just
Yes.
Ian, well, that is most generous of you.
Yes. And we would
No,
consider a transaction, even everyone happy. I know you will likely treasure this beyond its appeal, its visual appeal, and its functionality. Because bag of holding would do just as good, in fact, a better job. It's bigger.
Yes, but bigger is not always better.
No, it is not. This, the depth and beauty of this,
No.
the connection to your matron. That is where the meaning is. Yes.
Yes, yes. Could I bother you to take this glass of wine with me? Because it is marvelous.
Oh, of course, yes. He's got
And,
a goblet. Apparently he'd been holding the entire time, but it's empty.
oh, you should fill that up and have your this sweet red is
Just
incredible.
Give me a taste of it in my glass. Share yours with me.
Pour a little bit in.
Thank you.
I do.
To what do we toast?
We toast to the Raven Queen and for however it works, the dagger never returning to Faerun, for that is what I've been tasked with.
Ah, yes, I think we are of the same mind. I know we are some distance from realizing our joint goals, but perhaps we will get there.
Oh,
I'm not unwise enough to understand
I don't.
your friend's trepidation. It's not the first time.
I wouldn't presume. I wouldn't presume to understand the goals of a creature who has a magically teleporting curio, a store full of such magical. I think that yeah, I've got a long ways to understand what would motivate a creature such as you.
Well, shiny, valuable things are certainly
Oh, you are not
motivating. Certainly motivating.
You're not that. You cannot be that shallow, my friend.
Oh, you might be surprised.
I'm sure there's always the thrill of something.
Oh, make
Behind
no
it.
mistake. Make no mistake. Yes.
The thrill of the sale.
Oh. The triumph of the game.
Keeping
Revenge.
track of.
All sorts of
Oh.
things are wonderful to me.
I am sure that the stories that some of these things could tell in here would blow people's minds.
Yes, indeed. Well, 2 deals
Two deals.
to coming
Honest.
to one mind. And he clinks his glass.
And I will toast him back, and I will kind of saunter on out of the curio.
With your new box.
Yes, well, I'll put that away first.
Yeah. And so it is that you exit Ion's curios. Or is it curious? You're not sure. There's no sign. In fact, what's really odd about the building, you step out and you look back at it, it's 20 feet around. There's no windows. The ceiling in there was 40 some feet, yet the building is 30-ish feet tall. And so ends your encounter with Ion the Veyor, dealer of fine antiquities.
First encounter with Ion the Veyor.
Or now.
Well, I think that's a nice place to press the pause button on our game this evening. Whew. 3 hours with the Rakshasa and no blood was spilled. You might all want to check your pockets, just to make sure everything's there.
You seem like a lovely person.
Lovely, yes. Wonderful. Okay. That was fun. That was something. Let's go around the table, and we'll, as is always customary, honor the ladies among us. Go ladies first. Calavera, why don't you kick us off on our outros?
Hi, again, I am Paige. You can find me on Twitter at KeyLimeCutiePie. I don't really do much there. Usually I'm just kind of talking about some of the different podcasts that I found or any like cool tabletop I see that pops up. And yeah, when I'm not here with this lovely group, and usually when I'm missing out being with this lovely group, it's because I'm busy working, doing science stuff in the lab. Ooh.
Ooh. Nice. Excellent. All right. Thank you. Ronvin, Mara.
Muted.
I might want to unmute myself.
There you go.
Hi, I'm Vivacia. You can find me on Twitch as Vivacia, even though there's not much going on there right now. You can find me on the Twitter as Miss MRS Vivacia. On Discord, I'm Vivacia all over. When I'm not with these lovely people on Mondays, having an instant dislike that she cannot even explain, at least in her brain, to this fiendish person, the meanest kitty cat ever. On Wednesdays, I am on Mr. Hooper's channel, where we're playing The Inherited Earth, which is an ultra-modern setting, which is based on D&D 5e, but it's post-apocalyptic, which is very much a lot of fun. Then on Saturday mornings, we're still playing Mass Effect Genesis. We have 2 more left. 2 more. Last time, Talora went a little crazy and smashed a whole bunch of research, even though, you know, she's an archaeologist, because it was all very dangerous, very dangerous. We have no clue if we're going to make it off this planet and what we're going to do with the artifact we have. If we destroy it, sell it, I don't know. Is the party going to implode? We don't know. And then at the end of the month, Saturdays at 1 p.m., we're going to start on our 2nd season of Emberwind. And this is going to be on Valdrian's channel, and I'm going to bring back Verity, the kind of distracted noble investigator. And else here Mondays, always.
Nice. You got a lot going on, girl. I like it. Good games. All right, Ms. Fragile.
Yes, Miss Fragile with such the feminine voice. I really wish I had some of your guys' talents for creating voices. I'm Buckethead Clunk on my social media. I am Mike in real life. I am Fragile Jamkasi while I'm playing with these fine people. This is really my only online D&D presence. I play with a bunch of my friends, one of which is our DM tonight. And we have a homebrew that is spell jamming right now, just committed genocide and wiped out an entire race of Yuan-Ti because they were enslaving people. So I guess it's justifiable? I don't know. So we'll have to see what the ramifications of that are. And I'm here on Monday nights with these people, enjoying ourselves.
All right, very good. So, Ronvin, are we okay? We good? We all right? You and me? Player to DM?
Absolutely, that was a lot of fun.
Okay.
Because you know she's this naive, you know, young girl, and she doesn't even know why she doesn't like him, but she didn't like him from the minute he started talking, so she had to give him 2.
Rightly so. Well played, Miss Celestial Azamar. Nice. Rue, which leads me to my next question. Are we all right, buddy? We good?
Absolutely.
Okay. What's going on? Tell us about yourself.
So I'm Andrew, aka Fellowship at the Tables, here on Twitch. I've been streaming piano practice, just messing around with my keyboard here. Right now it's Sunday mornings and Tuesday evenings. On Twitch, on Twitter, I'm at Fellowship OTT. Mostly just retweeting other cool people. And that's about it.
Awesome. Excellent. Yeah, check out his stream. The piano playing is excellent, and it's just a lot of fun because he takes requests and plays them, and it's cool. So, and self-taught, so that's like super way impressive because, man, piano's not easy, so very cool. All right, Gears.
Hey folks, Dave Hey Wilson on the internet. On Mondays, I'm here playing Gears, the Warforged, or as they prefer to call it, created fighter. Mostly because I couldn't figure out something better to say. On Wednesdays, I am also here playing a far more chatty character in the form of Jacob Everfleet, the Trickster Domain Cleric, Halfling. We're having a great time in that as well. Just like this, we're currently exploring an abandoned dwarven keep, and I believe we were about to face off against some ghosts or something. But here, we're having a great time. Glad that Wiley's doing a check-in with some of the more tense moments that we had. Appreciate that. Wiley and I may be stealing some of your thunder, Scott. I'm sorry. We will be playing on this Tuesday, special one time only, in a game for Jasper's Game Week. I do appreciate that I get the opportunity to do that and be part of that particular effort to do fundraising for Jasper's Game Day. And we will be playing, I believe it's on Mini Terrain Domains channel.
Yep, just dropped a link in.
Cool, from 7 to 10 p.m. So
I spelled
join
it
us. Join us there. I can grab this as well. And do join us and help us play a little D&D in a one shot. I believe it's supposed to be a murder mystery on a train, so this is going to be kind of interesting. I've never done that in D&D.
Should be pretty cool.
But,
yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, so as Dave mentioned, we do play D&D here, of course, Monday nights, Wednesdays at 7, and then Sundays we have a regular game at 1 p.m. That one will be off this coming Sunday due to Mother's Day. So we're going to be celebrating Mother's Day with moms and such and family things. That should return the following Sunday. This one, for the last time for the summer, we'll have to miss the coming Monday for a meeting that I have to attend. So we're going to be off next Monday, but we'll be back the following Monday. And hopefully we will have Al back at the table and a full complement. So I hope everybody had a good time tonight. Man, that was interesting. I did not expect 3 hours. Or 2.5 hours for that encounter, but you know how it goes with gaming, man. It just goes where the story goes. So I really enjoyed this. So everybody have a good night. Be good to each other out there. If you do have a chance, I did post some information about Jasper's Game Week, raising funds for suicide prevention, mental health awareness, all that important stuff. Please take care of yourself. And if you are struggling, please seek help. Put another link in chat. So we will see you next time. We'll be back here Wednesday night at 7. Thanks, everybody.
We've got raid mini training
for hanging. What's that?
What's that? Raid them?
Yeah, let's do that because they're over there doing Jasper things. Let's do that. Good catch. Thank you.
Raid.
Yeah, man, they got a house full over there. They got 90 people going.
Nice. Let us raid.
All right, so hang loose. Go yell at them when we get in there. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out with us tonight, and we'll see you with this game again in just a couple of weeks.